top 5 NFL games this week. I'll use this for editing purposes, so I'll know when to cut it because a lot of the audiences like it. To that game, I think that Kansas City will bounce back per se. And I'm a big Detroit guy. You know I love Detroit. I want to get on here on Monday, and I want to play Dan Campbell's post-game speech, but the secondary is pretty banged up for Detroit. Kirby Joseph hasn't practiced all week. Arnold is going to be out for a little while. So you got cornerback issues. The Chiefs' backs are against the wall. Taylor Decker didn't practice today. That's their left tackle there for Detroit. They've had problems, they being Kansas City, with these mobile quarterbacks. We saw it in the Jacksonville. We saw it in the Charger game. But Jared Goff is not that mobile. I think this will be and Chiefs are pretty healthy this week, even though it's on the short week. I like Chiefs in Arrowhead, 27-24. This will be a great game, though. Those 50-50 calls will go the other way. They'll probably go against Detroit. I like the Chiefs to rebound against the Lions, 27-24. How do you see that game playing out?
Yeah, man, you hit all the high points, all the highlights. I think the Lions be lying about who they really are. They can't ever get it together as far as like in a sense where I feel like the toughness, the mentality that they need to keep moving on. They're very predictable right now. And I'm with you. I think that the Lions lose this one in Arrowhead, and I think the Kansas City Chiefs will win 32-27.
32-27. Okay. Moving right along. Moving on down the road. We'll go back to Sunday afternoon here. Seattle will play Jacksonville. Seattle coming off that very rough loss there to Tampa at home. Jacksonville, big emotional win. Initially I wanted to take Seattle thinking this would be a letdown game for Jacksonville coming off that big win. But looking at Seattle, most of their secondaries also questionable. Well, we saw what they looked like last week. They got roasted 160-something yards. But this guy's probably going to win Rookie of the Year. This is Emeka Egbuka, that wide receiver. This Brian Thomas, I just mentioned him. And, of course, like you said, running very good routes here. Travis Hunter. I love me some Travis Hunter played about 80 snaps this past week. And I got a sense that this is an early start time, 1 Eastern start time. Seattle going all the way down that humidity down in Jacksonville. Love me some Trevor Etienne in this game. 30-24. Jacksonville will win a wild one at home. What are your thoughts about that game?
Yeah, that game is going to be close as well. Seattle needs they know that they let one slip away. They'll be in Florida and they won't be playing Tampa Bay again, but they'll be in Florida and they're going to be in better weather. So I'm sure they're going to try to take advantage of that situation. I see it on the flip. I see Seattle beating Jacksonville 27-24. As much as I like what Jacksonville is doing, they're right now they're not in the best conference and to make them compete even better. The two best teams in that conference are Indianapolis and Jacksonville, which I have no trust in to stay in the top to stay as top 5 teams. And so, keep doing a good job building off the wins. But this one is not going to be a win. You're going to go against a defense that's kind of hurting, but they're not bleeding yet, and they're going to find out what it's like to face a tougher team from another division. So I feel like Seattle's going to win this one.
Well, the last time they went on the road like this in an early start time, they played well and they beat Pittsburgh. So that was a good one right there. Let's see. Let's go to San Francisco.
Oh, Jesus.
Against Tampa. 49ers won this game. They played last year at Tampa. It's a tight game. 23-20 last year. But likely Mac Jones is going to get the start again. 49ers have a little bit of extra rest here. But, man, I'm looking at that injury sheet there. They might get Juwan Jennings back at wide receiver. Everybody else looks pretty banged up for the 49ers, but the 49ers really well coached. My biggest issue with them is Nick Bosa, that little bit of lack of pass rush. We know that Baker Mayfield can get rid of the ball quickly. He didn't have his starting left tackle the first 2 games, and they got 2 road wins, you know? So I think the 49ers will keep this interesting because Tampa's got some cornerback issues as well. And I like how fast that Mac Jones gets rid of the football, like 2.5 seconds in that nature. But all that being said, I like Tampa Bay 31-24. This will be a good game. We're in for a big weekend. Tampa Bay will go to 6-1. What's your thoughts about that game?
Tampa without Tom Brady is going to be hot and heavy. That defense is getting on rhythm. Like it's they're getting to the middle of the season now. They're getting all revved up. They have injuries here and there. What team doesn't? But these guys are playing for their coach. They're playing for each other. They're resilient. They don't give up. And this is going to be a game where I feel like Tampa's going to come out top. Just for the mere reason that they're going to stay on this roll. That's a tough team. I don't think anybody wants to play this team. And I think you hit it when you said it. The MVP caliber season that Baker's having.
Yeah, I
When
got
he
to give
gets hot,
credit where it's due. He's playing really well. He's getting rid of the ball quickly.
and when he gets hot, man, he doesn't. He's less likely to lose the ball. Like he'll throw it away, we're good with that. He'll run and slide, we're good with that. Just don't fumble and don't throw interceptions. And he's been doing that. He's been smart with the ball, and that's very important. Now he got two grade A tight ends that are helping him, in Ingram and in Otten. So he's got tools.
Well, I love that Cade Otten, but he's a great fantasy player.
Yeah, he's got tools there to keep him always making the third, your third and short. You got 2 tight ends there that can catch the ball, and Baker with these tight ends, he can kind of throw it anywhere, so he doesn't have to be super accurate. Now, flip side, San Francisco, with your guy, as much as he throws the ball quick, he's not accurate, and that was one of the reasons the Patriots had to let him go. His accuracy hurt a little bit. Down, after 20 yards, you didn't see.
I think he's perfect for this system, though. He's undefeated as a starter.
But how many times this coach is so good at making a quarterback like him look great in the system, but when the pieces aren't all there, it's not jiving. So I have no faith in San Francisco.
What do you think about them beating the Rams last week?
I just think the Rams came in too hot and heavy on themselves and didn't play the game they should have played. And the coaching staff for San Francisco made the right adjustments because, again, these two guys know each other. They made the right adjustments, and they kept themselves in the game enough to win over. That game was more about stamina than it was about anything else. And San Francisco had the resiliency and the stamina that St. Louis at that time didn't, because they played 2 other big games. Well, I wouldn't say they're big games, but they played 2 games hard for the last 2 weeks. So they weren't expecting to play San Francisco, and they didn't have enough stamina for that. So, but again, that was a win for San Francisco, but I don't think they'll win against Tampa Bay, and I feel like that's probably going to be like a 27-24 game. That's going to be close. You're right. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be maybe the game of the week.
I said 31-24. You said 27-24.
Maybe the game of the week.
Yeah, it could be. We said it last week, and I think we nailed it. I thought that Seattle game was exciting, man. I mean, it was 38-35. I didn't think it would be that high scoring with Tampa.
Tell me this, Robert. If that game was not in Seattle, would we have picked Tampa Bay to win?
I would have probably picked Tampa. If that was a neutral site game, I would have picked Tampa.
Most definitely. Yeah, we guys, listen, we're not professionals, but we try to keep it pro here, and we make good calls sometimes, and
we're pretty freaking good.
Buffalo, that was not a good call.
No, Allstate. Buffalo playing at Atlanta. I want to say this is a Monday night game, staying in the NFC South. Atlanta coming off of a bye week. Buffalo is susceptible to the run game. And that's something Buffalo's going to have to do by the trade deadline. They're going to have to acquire a defensive tackle. If I'm Buffalo, I call the Titans and say, I'll give you three picks in the first 90 picks here for Jeffrey Simmons. They need to do something about their run defense. They got beat by the Patriots last week. Bijan Robertson, they're coming off of a bye week. They could keep this game close. They could very well keep this game close if Michael Penix, this is in Atlanta, if Michael Penix can convert third down. I think they keep it close enough to keep it interesting, about like last week against the Patriots. But the Buffalo is going to be ticked off. I think Allen will have a Herculean effort, and ultimately Buffalo will win in the end 23-20. Going to be a tight game. That's why I gave it to you. What are your thoughts about Atlanta, Buffalo coming up?
Again, I feel like Buffalo and the Lions drinking the same Kool-Aid. I'm not a big fan of Buffalo, but what happened was the Patriots came in and thumped. They thumped on Buffalo, and they wasn't expecting to get hit that hard. And the Patriots, when every time the Buffalo Bills had the ball, they got hit hard. So I like that about the Patriots. But going back to Buffalo, they lost the game. Allen is an MVP caliber QB now for the last three seasons.
Oh, heck yeah.
He's not going to let one slide, and he's going to come back and play even better. And because he's playing against a defense that's not great, they're a good defense, but they're not great. In Atlanta, they're gonna win this game. The Buffalo's going to come back. The fans are going to be happy again. They're going to cheer like they won the Super Bowl. They're going to beat up on Atlanta. They're going to beat them up, and there's going to be 27-14.
27-14 Bills.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
There's two Monday night games here.
Yeah.
I don't know why they do that. It gets on my nerves, but they do it.
Because you can only watch one at a time. That's why.
Yeah, it's annoying. I'll record them both. This is a game you beat me on last year. You took Washington. I took Chicago. Washington was coming, or Chicago was coming off a bye week. Chicago should have won that game if not for a fluke Hail Mary play and a bad adjustment by defensive back, this Stevenson kid. Really got a lot of flack for that because he was taunting before that. Karma came back on him. I really wanted to take the Bears in this game because I know they're coming off a bye week. But, man, again, with the injuries, Jalen Johnson's still out. They have other players questionable there on the secondary. And Jaden Daniels, man, I think he is much better now than he was this time last year. Even if they're not 100% at the wide receiver position, they had 27 points against the Chargers. It's a 4.5-point spread. I like Washington to win again, to exploit that banged-up defense by the Bears. Even though the Bears are coming off a bye week, only way Bears win this game is if they just have just a ton of rushing yards here and keep the ball, kind of like I said with Atlanta, keep the ball out of Daniels' hands and convert and do not get off to a slow start. Ben Johnson, with all his tricks and stuff, will keep this game interesting, but there's just too many. They're not quite ready yet defensively to stop Washington. 27-19, the Commanders win again, and the Bears fans are really ticked off. What's your thoughts about that game? I think it'll be a great game, though.
I just think Washington at this point is got house money they're playing with. They found a running back that can help Daniels, to be even better at the throwing game. A guy that can even block for him a little bit, and I like this, and I think that Washington's gonna flip it. They're gonna flip it. They're gonna be the ones controlling the game. They're gonna be the ones running the ball, and I think they're gonna win. I see this game being 28-10, man. I don't see
You think they're gonna blow the Bears out with the Bears offense like this?
Yeah, I think that the Bears they're not balanced on defense enough. So
okay.